Okay. Somebody tweeted at me and they said it's probably a mix of Adonis, the Greek god of male beauty and form, and
Uh-huh.
Minos. So,
Well, that clears things up. Still don't know how
take
to
that as
say
you
it.
will.
So we'll call him Adon, I think. That's just easier. So here we go. We're in the game. Overgrowth is the destination for this particular battle between this fellow right here with the unpronounceable name, hailing from Israel in the northeast position, in the blue trunks, playing Protoss. He is, as I attempt to say this, Cascade Esports Adonminus. I kind of hope I never have to say that at a live event. That's also quite mean to say to him. It's like, no, I hope you do get to attend a live event. I just don't want to cast your name because it's awkward. And of course, this guy, the big red machine to the southwest position in the red trunks, playing Zerg. It's My Insanity's Kane.
So somebody's copy pasting this. I'm assuming that he wrote this. Adon means like Mr. or Sir in Hebrew. Then I fused that with Dominus, which means Dominator, into the great Adonminus, the Lord of Domination. Of course, the hard part is doing that and having to put all those prefix titles for my name when I do the introduction. Okay, there you go. I don't know if he actually Adonminus, but somebody said that in chat.
He could also be lying, but you never know.
No. In my chat, no way. There are no liars in my chat. What's going on? What? A drone scout?
Yeah. I guess Kane doesn't really know this guy very well, so he wants to make sure there's nothing
Not
cheeky.
even, not even like a drone scout for a proxy, but like it's straight up like I'm scouting your base with a drone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I haven't seen this in a long time.
Yep. This is a thing that happened in the Wings of Liberty beta, and it's not really in the current metagame, but I think it seems like, as you said, he's not going to try and proxy the hatch or anything, but he's just, I guess he just doesn't know I'm sorry, it's Adon. I'm calling him Adon. I can't do it. I guess he just doesn't know Adon all that well, so he wants to make sure that there's nothing crazy going on, but, I mean, you know, what crazy would be happening? Kane going 3 hatch before pool, though. Is that why? I mean, did he just drone scout so that he could secure 3 hatch before pool?
It's possible.
Oh, there you
go. Yeah, sure. But he scouted a gateway first.
And then went 3 hatch anyway.
Well, yeah. What would he scout that wouldn't make him go 3 hatch?
I don't know. Like, he goes in there, he doesn't see a gateway, and it's like, oh, it's a proxy 2 gate. But that's about it. Can't think of anything else. Alright, well.
Well, regardless. I mean, he did do a 3 hatch before pool. I didn't see that extractor went up before after the spawning pool started, but regardless, he's going to have link speed really early. He's going to have a really good economy. If that link speed finishes, he's also going to be able to defend it really well, so it'll be interesting to see how Adon decides to deal with what Kane's got.
Yep, so far so standard really out of Adon with the gateway into the Nexus expansion, and he's going to start to put the fairly standard wall off, I would imagine, at the front eventually, but it'll take a little bit of time. But there's not really going to be much on the map for the next minute or so anyway, so he's not in too bad a position. Kane, solid position, you know, got away with 3 hatch before pool, no consequences to that. And as you said, getting his speed at a good time. There's going to be a couple more gateways added at the front here for Adon. Now, I've got to ask you about his style, because I haven't had the chance to watch him. I know that he got some surprising upsets, though.
That he did. Let me look back into his group. Group 3. Oh, man, I don't remember the day very well. He ended up beating Innovation 2-1.
Yeah.
Those games were crazy.
What exactly happened? That's something you've got to really explain, because that doesn't sound right.
Oh my god, I remember in the second game he went for a big all-in and it failed. Or no, Innovation went for a big all-in in the second game and it failed. And then in one of the games they played on the really big map. Is it Nimbus? Nimbus is the really, really large one, right? Where we saw the 2 racks earlier today in Innovation vs. Life.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Oh man, I'd have to go back and watch him. I don't remember exactly, but his play was he played very well. It wasn't like cheesy gimmicky stuff. It was like pretty solid play. He did really well. I don't know if Innovation was tired, because he messaged me afterwards and he said if we have to play tiebreakers, can we do it tomorrow? Because I'm really sleepy. And Innovation had just beaten like a Codes Protoss or 2 earlier that day, and then came home and lost to Adonminus. So
yeah.
Oh, it was on Deadwing. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. He did really well. He was one of the ladder qualifiers, and like nobody knew or heard of anything about him.
No,
Like,
absolutely not.
A couple people say they've played him on EU, but yeah, like nobody really knows that much about him.
Yeah, I mean, it's unusual enough, I think, to see an Israeli player.
Oh! Oh! I'm sorry, I just like screamed. I'm sorry. One of the games, Innovation, the last game in Innovation versus Adonminus, tested a proxy 2 gate. Or it might have actually just been a proxy 1 gate and then a cybercore back home, and Innovation scouted the incorrect base. Like, it was the map where you can only spawn.
Oh, yes, now I remember, yeah.
Yeah, and Innovation scouted wrong. He sent his SCV to the top left. Oh my god, that was so sad to watch. However, to be fair, and a couple people pointed this out afterwards on like threads and whatnot, people were saying that even if he would have scouted the proxy, it's unsure if 1 Reaper would have done much against the 2 Zealots and 1 Stalker.
Yeah.
So...
Well, Kane got in, gets a scout. He's going to see, there's a lot of gateways going down, but I mean, it's, Adonminus, Adon has taken, damn it, has taken 3 bases, and he's put a photon cannon in a very, very nice position here. We're seeing Kane go for roaches, and of course, he's just finished his lair, so roach speed follow coming very quickly. Adding Burrow into the mix as well, but a very heavy gateway style so far from Adon, who has basically skipped all tech to do that. Like, the only tech he has is this +1 upgrade. He's not built a robo, there's no Twilight down, it's just gateways at the moment.
I'd expect to see like a robo and a Twilight going down pretty soon, or at the very least a robo or a Twilight. I mean, usually you want the robo to at least have an observer, because otherwise Burrow is going to screw you. Maybe for earlier timings you don't need the robo, but I mean, we're getting this late into the game. You can pretty much count on the Zerg having a robotics, or having a Burrow on his unit, so I'm really surprised not to see. Also, not having the Twilight means he can't grab the +2 either.
Yep.
This is like, we're going for really... Is this an all-in? There's
on
a pylon
3 bases?
in the bottom right. I mean... He has no tech.
Yeah, I mean, he's not teching, so like you said, it's certainly all-in-ish, but like, can you all-in on 3 bases and 7 gates, is the question, I suppose. Like, if you're asking Dylan, probably, but...
We're about to find out.
Alright.
This doesn't work, he has to go back, there's no observer. What is he going to possibly do for the burrowed units?
I have no idea. I have a feeling he's about to lose a lot of units. I mean, the force fields are pretty good.
Where's the mothership core?
Oh, there it is. Alright, well, it's turning up a little bit late to the party, and that's going to have to be a recall. There's no way. He has to get out. I mean, that was a pretty disastrous engagement. But, yeah, I think we just find out why you don't go for a 7-gate, 3-base attack on no tech.
I could be wrong because I don't play Protoss, but I'm pretty sure you can do the same all-in with Blink.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
even with an observer too. So I'm not sure what I'm not really sure what that was. I have seen really heavy gateway all-in kind of styles before, but usually that starts off with pressure and they hit really early. You don't let the Zerg get to a full like fully saturated 3 bases with Burrow and upgrades, and then you move out with only gateway units. Like, oh, we see 2 Stargates going down.
Alright, well, unfortunately, since there's no blink, the speed roaches are going to massacre this army. And they're going to be able to knock through, and that, I mean, unless he holds on, it looks like he wants to try and get Void Rays, but I'm sorry, not even Photon Overcharge can hold firepower of that magnitude.
Barely scratching. You've got 300 roaches at the front.
Yeah, do a damn thing. I mean, there's 30 speed roaches. I don't really know what Adonminus's plan here is, or was. But whatever it is, it definitely didn't work, and this is going to result, I think, in a straight-up loss. I don't see Adon being able to hold anything. Like, I'd say hold his third, but he's got problems in his main, his natural walls down as well. There's Ling backup streaming in. This is devastating.
Yeah, this is pretty much lights out for Adon. I mean, it was kind of lights out-ish when he didn't build any buildings, like robotics or a Twilight Console. I'm still not entirely sure what the point of that was.
Yeah, tech's usually a good thing. And if you're on 3 bases and you're mining that much with like 68 probes, surely you maybe go to more than 7 gates if you really want to force the issue, but the timing's wrong. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it's like 2 Stalkers to get like a Twilight and to just the Twilight, and then it's like a couple more Stalkers to get the Robo. Like, I mean, I don't know, that seems really weird. To not have any kind of tech at all. The Mothership Core is working its way very slowly, working away at these roaches.
It'll take a while. Void Rays are here, so he does have a Void Ray. But currently the army supply is 86 to 28, and I don't care how good Protoss units are, they're not that good. There's another Photon Overcharge coming in. He is actually holding now with the Void Rays, and I would say he has a second Void Ray, but he doesn't. He actually built Phoenixes instead for some reason. And yeah, I mean, he's going to hold for now, but he lost his third. There's 18 workers killed. Yeah, as you said, the muta switch, and there's no blink and only 7 stalkers.
There's not even... Oh, I was going to say, there's not even any probes to kill in the main.
No, really, they all left.
Not to kill the hype, but I think Adon is in a pretty unwinnable spot right now.
I would say so. He lost his mothership core, which, had no energy, but he loses a sentry. And these mutas pretty much have free reign. It's not like he hasn't got enough gateways to warp in, but his economy's not really in a great enough spot. He doesn't have enough gas to warp in a huge round of stalkers, only a few. He's got a couple of phoenixes, but they don't do enough damage, really, to shut this down completely. And Kane is able to get out regardless of the really awkward air positioning. And more Lings streaming in, and they found themselves a juicy, juicy mineral line. Ouch. I mean, it's one-sided, let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. We're just kind of waiting. Yeah,
GG
timing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like to question builds of pro gamers, but I'm not 100% sure what that was supposed to achieve. I
want to say, like, my heart tells me that he forgot the Twilight, but there were so many times in that build, like, before moving out, we're like, okay, well, throw it down as you move out, throw it down as you move out, throw it down as you go to attack, throw it down as you're warping it, like, just put it down at some point. Like, I mean, you notice you forget it and then you build it, you notice you forget it and like, well, 12 minutes, 13 minutes, well, I'm just going to continue to, like, send my unit, like, I don't know, that was really strange.
It was a bit weird. It just seems to me like if you've got 3 bases secured and your opponent can't really do anything to you, then with that amount of income, especially with 6 gases, you should be thinking about tech immediately. And you should be securing that. And if you want to play passive, cool, okay, sure. Play your 3-base Protoss style passive, like tech up quick to Colossus, or tech up to Blink Stalker, or get Storm, or any of those things. But you don't sit on 7 gates and 3 bases and then attack, because that doesn't do anything. I mean, it would require the Zerg to have played super passively and not built any units, which, of course, he didn't know. He didn't have that information.
For sure.
I'm not sure what it was.
Some people in the chat are saying that when my mic comes in, it like comes screaming and like the auto adjust is on. Is that? Do you hear that or?
I don't hear it. I don't have any adjustment being put on to TeamSpeak, so I'm not 100% sure where that would be coming from.
Okay, if you don't hear it, it's strange that they would hear it, huh?
Well, I mean, it's XSplit doesn't take 1 for 1. It's probably messing around with it a bit. I don't honestly know what to do about that. I'm afraid. As we pointed out, this unfortunately was a bit of a scrappy setup because Destiny's stream isn't working today, so I've picked up the stream, but we don't have the necessary setup to, and it's not tested either, so I'm not sure what to do about that.
Oh, somebody pointed out that that early drone scout, when you drone scout the Protoss, could just be looking for a forge, and if you see the forge, then you don't 3-hatch. But if you see the gateway first, you can still, I guess, if you're comfortable, if you're confident, and you take that early gas, you can take the 3-hatch and try and hold.
That's
any
a
early
completely
pressure.
fair point. Yeah, that's absolutely
yeah. So
fair.
that makes sense. I didn't even consider that.
Well, Kane did look pretty dominant there, regardless, though. Let's be honest. That we've seen some strange builds from Adon up to this point, but I don't know exactly what his game plan was there, or what he was attempting to achieve with that. And like you said, you can't really forget the Twilight that many times, right? That's just not something you can do. Forgetting Warpgate is understandable. Forgetting the Twilight Council, because, if it was going to be a Blink build, well, you've got to, that build involves building Blink at some point. So when you go to build Blink and you realize you don't have a Twilight, it's like, oh. But I don't know. It's like that's the kind of game where I want to, if it wasn't in the middle of a series, I want to ask Adon what exactly he was doing, because I'm really curious what his mindset was there.
For sure. We're waiting. Game 2 is going to take place on Catalina.
This is a good map.
So I think we're waiting for... Oh, shit. Hold on, I need to add take.
Those just tuning in, you're watching the Destiny 1 round of 8.
Oh, we should probably talk about sponsors for a sec.
That might be a good idea, considering the issues we've been having.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. So I had technical issues earlier. I couldn't get anything set up. A few things. There were I had 4 sponsors lined up for this event. All of them really, really, really great guys, people, companies. I don't even know my overlay, so I can't even look at them. So we're doing this from memory. We've got Yord, which I believe is how you pronounce the woodwatches.com sponsor. Really cool watches. Check them out. If you go to, for anything I'm about to talk about, if you go to i.destiny.gg and you scroll down to the sponsor section, woodwatches.com, basically it's exactly as it sounds. They sell watches and they're made out of wood. They look really sick. They're a decent price, I think. I don't actually know how much the average watch costs, but they're really cool. I've got one. I wore it over my on my Red Bull trip. They are awesome people. A lot of people said they've talked to the live chat there, and I guess those guys all know about like the tournament and stuff. So check that out if you're looking to pick up a watch. If you want to channel your inner hipster, www.woodwatches.com. It's actual wood, so you're not safe to swim with them because they will, like, I don't know, what does wood do, like mold or corrode?
It molds, yes.
Yeah, so don't do that.
Good
advice.
Oh,
Yode like the Tyrone Destiny. It's Yode. I'm never gonna pronounce it right.
That
apparently
doesn't clarify anything.
The Video Games Voters Network is basically it's a mailing list that helps you keep up to date on relevant legislation that's being passed through concerning video game stuff. Anytime there's a major shooting, anytime there's a major, really anything, you know, sometimes people will talk in the news about video